way to have a friend is to be one. That's Ralph Waldo Emerson. Friendship is a special bond that's based on mutual trust. Friends are people who can see past each other's shortcomings and see each other's strengths and help each other work on both. When you have a friend, you can laugh or cry or get silly. Lost my train of thought now. You can share what's on your heart and mind, but your secrets are safe with me. I treasure all my friends. I'm grateful for the joy that they bring as we share mutual interests and respect. So be a friend, share with a friend, take some time to make a new friend. Trust your friends and listen to them. Make sure that you love your friends. My friends, I love my friends. I love my friends. I love my friends. I love all my friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Maestro Todd. And thank you to our AVLM team for fixing my mic. Yay! I am well taken care of by my friends, as I know you are as well. Thank you, Todd and Kent and Carol and everybody else for being here. We are friends, are we not? Yes. And life is about friendship. It's about love. And it's about creation. Not just about creation, though. Life is about creating. We create everything in our experience. We create our relationships. We create our experiences. And yes, we live in a world, guess what, with 7 billion other creative beings. And so one of the things that we are always learning is how to create together with friends that we know and with friends that we have not met yet. And sometimes we say, well, I don't think that person can be my friend, but I'm here to tell you something. Everybody on earth can be a friend. Now, granted, we're going to have some people we resonate more with than others, yes? Yeah. No? Okay, all right, just want to make sure you're awake. But we can create a world where we are friends. Friends, maybe not where we know each other personally, but friends where we can recognize that we are all God expressing in many unique and diverse ways through many different understandings of God, many different understandings of how the world works. But together, we create one beautiful tapestry. And we can begin to do that by asking ourselves, what am I creating? What am I creating in my world around me? And yes, much is already created, but we can create anew. We can create better. We can create others. And thus we say we create our own world, and guess what? That includes our church right here, Unity Spiritual Center of Albuquerque. What are we creating here? I believe we are creating exactly what we say with our core values, our vision, our mission statements, and all that. We are co-creating, to the best of our ability, a world that works for all. Now, that is a big, big task, isn't it? A world that works for all. We're not going to accomplish it in one Sunday. We're not going to accomplish it in one lifetime. But we can consciously be on the path of moving humanity forward, all of us. all of us in this room, all of us on this earth. We have a choice. Do we create the status quo? Do we try to recreate what has already been created and may not be working well? Or do we create something new? Just like the peace song says, peace begins where? With me. New creation, new understanding begins with? Very good. That's what we're going to do this month. We're going to create new friends. Now, don't go out and adopt kids or have babies or anything like that. That's not what I mean. Look around you. We have room for more friends. And yeah, I know this Sunday it's a little lighter because a lot of people are out of town. One last fling before school really gets going. But we have space for more friends. And it's not about trying to pack the sanctuary. It's not about trying to meet our financial needs or anything about that. It's about the fact that I believe, and if you're here, I'm presuming you do too, that unity truth teachings are what the world needs today. Messages that we are all God's children, regardless of religion, race, nationality, sexual orientation, gender identity, or anything else. God created a diverse universe. Look at what they're finding with the James Webb Hubble telescopes. No two things are alike. That's what God sees, is a universe of diversity, a universe of uniqueness, and a universe that is all one. One. We can do that here. I believe the world is looking for what we have to offer. Traditional religion is no longer meeting the needs. It's time for us to step forward. It's time for us to be bold and excited about our truth teachings, because we do invite everybody in. We do recognize that we are all unique and divine and perfect just the way we are. That's what we say to our children, isn't it? God and I love you exactly as you are. So this month, we are going to be drawing upon our power of imagination and faith to build our congregation, to invite in new friends, to welcome new friends. And how are we going to do that? Now, if you're like me, when I was out there where you're sitting and the pastor said, we're going to have a friendship Sunday, I went, oh gosh, I got to talk to people about church. Oh no, don't make me do that, please, because we don't like to talk about religion and politics. Yeah, turn on the radio or look at your social media. We love to talk about those things, be honest. And we love to say we're the only right ones. Well, we don't say that in Unity. But how are we going to do this? Well, many years ago when I was serving in Joplin, Missouri, I got curious. I said, we have Friendship Sundays, and we say, bring a friend, bring a friend, bring a friend, and maybe one or two people will bring a friend. And I know because I was there. I was like that. And I go, and then I look at other churches, especially the big ones. Now, I don't know if I want to be a mega church. I'd like to see us have smaller churches around. But I looked at them and I said, what do? They do it. What are we missing? So I started investigating. And I discovered that they actually have a process they go through. And so I did what any good minister will do. I stole it. Hey, it's out there on the internet. It's free, right? And I took it. Yeah, I'm honest about it. I took it and I said, if it works for them, maybe it'll work for us. And then I got to thinking more and more about it, and I thought, that's what Jesus did. He didn't tell his disciples to go out today and bring in 5 new friends, and they'll bring in 3 friends, and those 3 friends will know 3 friends, and it'll be like a multi-level marketing thing. That's not how it worked. He worked with his people for a long time, and he shared his teachings until eventually it happened organically. But he had a process too. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be like Jesus. I discovered that people want 2 things Even the younger people who we are told by the media all the time don't want anything to do with church. And that is true. A lot of them do not want traditional church. But everybody I have talked to, all the way down to young kids, want two things. Can you guess what one of them is? Community. Community. They want friends. They want like-minded friends that think like they do, that can see the good in them. And they want spirituality, which is what we do here. They want spirituality. They want to be able to relate to God and be with that God presence that is within them without the box of traditional Christianity or any other religion for that matter. So that's what we are going to work on. Now, you are not allowed, as much as I can tell you what you can and can't do, you are not, I'm going to say this. I recommend you do not invite anybody till the fourth Sunday of the month. And you'll see why as we go along. To begin with, today you received a sheet of paper. And on that sheet of paper, you will notice, can I borrow yours, Kent, please? Got yours there? Oh, you guys don't have one? Who's got one? Thank you. I'll give it right back, I promise. You'll have, you see, and I won't read the names. You have a list that says, make a prayer list of friends. These are just friends you're going to think about. Say, who would I like to have with me here in church? Who do I know that I really have fun with, that I resonate with, that I just love to be with? Who do I know? Could be a coworker, could be a friend, it could be a clerk. Anybody have a favorite checkout clerk at the stores that still have checkout clerks? Yes, and write their name down. Now, some people you write down may already go to a church. We're not trying to steal from other churches, okay? Cross them off. And there may be others you will cross off. It's all explained on your piece of paper. But I invite you to take that and work with it. And then hold that prayer. Hold that prayer in your consciousness. Say, gosh, wouldn't it be cool if I just suddenly had the opportunity where they asked me, where do you go to church? Have you ever been asked to go to church with somebody? Yeah, I do. I'm a minister, and I have people ask me to go to their church. And fortunately, I have a better excuse because I can say, well, I'm kind of busy on Sunday mornings. But that's what we do. So there's a sample of the prayer there on your paper. You can customize it and use your own. Just do that this week. That's all you have to do. But there's more to it than that. We know in unity we say that thoughts held in mind produce after their kind, the law of mind action. That which I hold in my imagination manifests, but there's a step that we forget about sometimes. It's not enough to just hold it in imagination. You have to then take the action, and that's what we're starting to do, is take the action. But for it to really work, we have to begin to understand how imagination works, because everything that has ever been created by human beings started in the imagination. It's one of our 12 powers, imagination. We create an image of it. So create an image of our sanctuary full. Create an image of our children having all their friends with them. That's what I envision. I envision 2 Sunday services. One traditional and one postmodern, because our younger people want something different. I envision a 3rd Sunday service in Spanish. I don't speak enough, so if any of you speak enough Spanish to do anything other than order food and get in trouble, see me. So let's talk about our power of imagination. It's the tool we use in every area of life. If we have a healing need, the healing has to start with imagination. We have to imagine ourselves whole and healthy. If we have a need of a better relationship with someone, we have to imagine having that better relationship. If we need more prosperity in our lives, we have to begin by imagining and getting into the vibration of it. So beginning with the power of imagination, we know that our power center of imagination is between the eyes. When you picture something in your mind, where do you see it? You see it right here. And we know that forms are manifestations of ideas that begin in the imagination. Charles Fillmore identified the disciple Bartholomew as the disciple who represents imagination. Why? If you know the story of how Jesus and Bartholomew got together, Jesus was walking down the road and had an image of Bart sitting underneath a tree. He probably didn't call him Bart. But sitting underneath a tree, and lo and behold, there he was. Why? Because Jesus was in tune with spirit and understood the messages of imagination. So how do we do that? How do we get into that place where we can envision our church full, where we can envision other satellites, where people are hearing these ideas and are embracing spirituality? We begin by centering in spirit. It's always the place we start, is in prayer and meditation, opening ourselves up to divine ideas, opening ourselves up to an infilling of wisdom and understanding, and one you don't hear very often, opportunity. Opportunity to talk to people, to share these ideas. And we learn to use our imagination not just for entertainment, but for creation. So what do we wish to create? What do we wish to create in our world, in our experience? For too many in our world, it's discord, disharmony, and struggle. What if we could instead imagine a world where we have created peace and harmony and dignity for all people? Because let me tell you, that's the image God holds of humanity. That's the image God holds of the earth. A place where there is only perfection, only peace, only life, only harmony. The problem we have in our experience is we have free will, and free will allows us to filter these divine ideas through this. And they get fuzzy and sometimes misinterpreted. So let's look at how we can begin to change how we work with this power of imagination. Let's take the idea of peace. Every great teacher the world has ever known, from the Buddha to the Christ to Muhammad to every other one, has said, we want peace on earth. We've heard things like the peace of God that passes understanding. We sing, let there be peace on earth. How well have we achieved that? Look at the mass of humanity. We have tried to create peace through the use of force. Be like us or we bomb you. And likewise, when wrong is done to us, we react without seeking the cause. But if we engage in the power of imagination, we can begin to see different ways of responding, different ways of being. Cora Fillmore wrote this: divine imagination is the chisel we wield in molding the paradise of our inner thought kingdoms. But that chisel must be wielded with love and wisdom and strength. It's important to understand this, that imagination inspires the soul to expand, inspires us to grow and evolve, and then we filter it through old ideas, through old ways of acting, and it holds us back. I love what I think it was Mother Teresa said. I will never march in a protest against war, but I will march for peace. Can you hear the difference? What are we putting our energy into? That which is or that which we want? Where do we put our energy? That is so important. If you hear nothing else, remember that. Where do I put my energy, my thoughts, into what is or what I want or what will be? We are created to be more than just functional. We are created to create ourselves, to create our world of peace, our world of plenty, our world of friends. And so we look at creation in all its forms, with experiences, relationships, and even churches, and we say, grow, evolve. And imagination says, yes, we can grow and evolve. But it takes more than just saying it. We have to be it. We have to be in that vibration. I will tell you how you will know when you're in that vibration. Instead of going to somebody and saying, come to my church, when you have somebody come to you and say, I see that you are excited about life, that you are happy, you're joy-filled, what do you do that's different? And then you can say, well, part of it is my spiritual practice, my spiritual belief. That's how we know when we're really in that place. So imagination gives shape to the understanding of the image. And the image we have is one of peace, is one of inclusivity, is one of love, is one of acceptance, is one of abundance in all its forms. But it has to be grounded in truth. The good news is we get to keep trying these ideas until we get them right. I love what Richard Bach wrote in Illusions. The world is your exercise book, the pages on which you do your sums. It is not reality, though you may express reality there if you wish. And you are also free to write lies or nonsense or to tear the pages. It's your creation. So let me ask you a question about creation and about how you see things. It's going to be kind of obvious at first. I have here a glass of water. It's filled to right here with water if you can't see it. How many of you think this glass is half empty? Oh, you guys are so good. Nobody. How many of you think it's half full? Some. You're wrong. It's full to overflowing. It is. We know that even if you can't see it, this part of the glass is filled with air. It's not empty. It's filled with air. Well, here's something you may not have thought about, though. The bottom half of the glass is filled with hydrogen and oxygen. Guess what? There's hydrogen and oxygen in the top half, too. What's the difference? What's the difference is the level of vibration. This is a lighter vibration than this. This is a denser vibration. Look at the seat next to you. What is the difference between a full seat or an empty seat? Not that you're denser than the other seat. That's not the difference. The difference is that something in your consciousness brought you to this expression, to this form of being in this place. And if it brought you, there are others out there looking for the same thing, looking to fill that seat with a denser manifestation, with a different energy, with a human energy. We can use our imagination to not only interpret what we see, but to imagine what is that we cannot see. We can't see what's in the top half of that glass, but we know it's there. We can't see who's sitting in the seats next to us, but we can know they're there. That's the real difference. So how do we fill that seat? How do we do it? Well, first, we have to have a vision. We have to have a vision of somebody filling that seat. And maybe to help do that, we have to understand who is looking for that seat. Because I promise you, there are people looking for that seat. How many of you came here to Unity and said, this is what I've been looking for? Would you have found it if somebody hadn't told you about it or something hadn't led you to it? Maybe the social media website, whatever, sign, something. So I'm going to ask John to put up a short video here that maybe will get the juices flowing. And for those of you who may not be able to see, I'll read the captions when they come up. I am your Father. A distant uncle? A traveler? Are you thinking about your boss? Whose seat is it? Whose seat is that one next to you? The couple next door? An old friend? A stranger? Who's in your field? That judge? Your nan? Your bro or sis? Invite someone, not today, at the end of the month. Thank you, John. I stole that from another church. But if you notice, it did say free to use on it. Who do you know that may be looking for a different way of thinking? Who may be looking for a deeper understanding of spiritual principles? Who may be wanting to get back to understand the truth of Jesus' teachings? Not just about Jesus. That's what Charles Fillmore said made us different. Most Christianity is a teaching about Jesus. We strive to understand what Jesus taught. So we strive to understand the religion of Jesus. Who is it that you know that may be looking for that? Maybe you don't know if they're looking or not. So that's a simplified explanation of how Imagine works. All that is already is. There's already somebody for that seat. We just don't know who yet. They haven't been told about it yet. We know that imagination says all that is not already visible exists. And we discern its presence through the power of faith, the substance of things hoped for. But it's imagination that gives form to that shape. It defines the image of the substance. Do you realize how powerful our power of imagination is? Everything that we have ever created as a species started in imagination. The universe itself started in the mind of God, the imagination of God. How powerful is that? Charles Fillmore wrote in his book, Christian Healing, the imagination has its center in the front brain. It uses its perceptive faculties to discern the potentiality of what already is. It is the author of size, weight, form, and color. And when it flashes its energy into an idea, the subject must respond in thought. And out of substance, visible and invisible, make forms that correspond to the idea held in the imagination. Remember hearing that thoughts are things? Well, you can see this from this, that indeed they are. Thoughts which give form to what Charles Fillmore called substance, what we call potentiality, create not just an image, but when energy is put behind it, create a manifestation. Any image we like, good or bad, healing or destructive, we're free to create what we want, or an attractive energy. Now, I'm not just talking about physically attractive. I'm talking about using the imagination to create an energetic field that attracts like-minded people, people who are seeking, people who are wanting something different, that attracts, if you have a healing need, that attracts healing to us. How many of you have ever done what Myrtle did when you have a healing need? You go first to God. You say, okay, God, I'm having this healing need. Where do I go with it? Who do I seek out for help? Myrtle said, go to God first, and man as God directs. So we use the law of attraction with imagination. which creates that energetic attraction. When we're seeking healing, we don't say, oh, I am so sick, I wish I were healed. We say, I'm alive, alert, awake, joyous, and enthusiastic about life. Can you say that? I'm alive. Oh, I'm alive. Feel it. I'm alive. I'm alert. Some of y'all aren't that alert. I'm alert. I'm awake. I'm enthusiastic about life. And I have a place for you next to me. All right. The truth is, our bodies react to thoughts held in mind. Our lives react to thoughts held in mind. Our experiences react to the thoughts we hold in mind. How many of you go, oh man, I'm going to go into this experience at work today and it's going to be awful? And you're uptight and upset and don't know what to do? Or you can choose, I'm dealing with a growth experience. It may not be easy, but I know that God is with me. His Spirit moves through us. And we will grow through this experience. I know, sometimes it's hard. The real key to turning imagination into reality is acting as if the imagined scene were already real and accomplished. Already get into the vibration that has already happened. Imagine it as though you are truly experiencing whatever it is you're imagining in the moment. As if you're feeling it, as if you're doing it right now. Turn to that empty seat next to you and say, I am so glad you are here with me today. If you get into that vibration, guess what? It will fill up, I promise you. It's a real event in the now. The great masters of antiquity said that whatever you believe, you become. And if you believe and imagine in the now that you are whatever you wish, then reality will conform to your imagination. The problem is, most of us are used to looking at the world through the eyes of lack, seeing only what we don't have. We can look and say, oh, I see all these empty seats. Or we can look and say, wow, I see the place full. I see people growing, people evolving, people enthusiastically sharing their gifts with us. Because it's an energetic exchange. There are people with talents and skills and ideas that we need. It's not just what we have to offer, what we need. And so I hold the vision of the people who have all of that coming and being a part of us. We do it when we look at the economy. Oh, gosh, look at the economy. Inflation is through the roof. Gas prices are through the roof. Eggs are ridiculous. Thank God we have gas and eggs. I don't mind paying more for it. Thank God we have that. So what are we holding in our vision? What fantasy are we making into reality? The fantasy that there's not enough, that we can never grow, that the world is falling apart. That's been a fantasy for all of human history, and it's not the truth. The truth is there is more than enough for everybody to have all of their needs met if we learn how to distribute it properly. There's more than enough love. There's more than enough peace if we learn how to share it properly. So when you're using your imagination, don't put limits on it. Don't shroud it in doubt. Remember, no one's going to judge you for it. Nothing's going to prevent it from happening. Only you have the power to deter its realization. If it's healing your body, then imagine yourself as healthy and whole. Become it. Relive it. If it's about having more of financial supply to meet your needs, get in that energy that I am part of the circulation of all that I need. Even physicians now are starting to get into this. People like Deepak Chopra are expressing this, that you have the power to do anything you want if you first imagine in your mind's eye. What did Jesus say? If you can conceive it, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. Now, that's Napoleon Hill's version of it. But Jesus said, if you have the faith of a grain of mustard seed, that much, that's all it takes. We have to learn to come from the invisible half of the universe. How often have you used your imagination to see the top half of a channel for your supply of whatever it is you're needing? Russell Lake wrote, imagination makes your world, sets its boundaries, outlines its course, determines its content, and brings all things into manifestation. The mental pictures imaged on your consciousness by your imagination are the blueprints of your future and the promise of your tomorrow. What blueprint are you creating? What kind of blueprint are you drawing? And another quote from another Unity minister, Foster McClellan, in Notes for a Friend, he wrote, you can never receive anything in life that you cannot first picture in your mind. It's a universal law. So let's imagine ourselves to be whole, free, happy, successful, relaxed, healthy, and peaceful. And let's imagine that 4 weeks from today, our sanctuary is overflowing. That Unity Spiritual Center is a place filled with friends, a place that teaches prosperous living, expansive expression, and being a hub of unique ideas in the Southwest that the world needs today. So turn to your empty seat next to you and say, thank you for being here. And I thank you for being here. Namaste.
If I should ever go away, well then close your eyes and try to feel the way we do today. And then if you can remember, this is what I want to do right now. Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, that's what friends are for. In good times, in bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. Good job. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant. I'm not ashamed to say, I hope it always will stay this way. My hat is off, won't you stand up and take a bow? And if you threw a party and invited everyone you know, then you would see the biggest gift would be from me. Your detached would say, thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend. I want to thank you for being a friend. I want to thank you for being a friend. If it's a car you lack, I'll surely buy you a Cadillac. Whatever you need, any time of the day or night. I'm not ashamed to say, I hope it always will stay this way. My hat is off, won't you stand up and take a bow? And when we both get older, we're walking with canes and have gray in our hair. I will stand real close and say, thank Thank you for being a friend. I want to thank you. Thank you for being a friend. I want to thank you. Thank you for being a friend. I want to thank you. Thank you for being a friend. And when we die and float away into the night, away, you'll hear me call as we ascend. I'll say your name, and once again, thank you for being a friend. I want to thank you. Thank you for being a friend. I want to thank you. Thank you for being a friend. I want to thank you. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend. I want to thank you. Thank you for being a friend. I want to thank you. Thank you for being a friend. I want to thank you. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend. I fooled you on that one.